Welcome to Faithfully Us, a space where faith meets family and quiet voices are heard. If you're looking for encouragement and real talk, you're in the right place. Let's walk this journey together. Welcome back to Faithfully Us. Today, our topic is going to be about burnout. The definition of burnout is like extreme exhaustion, right? So whether mentally, physically, emotionally, all the things, it's just extreme to the point of you can't keep going anymore. How do you handle let's talk. How do you handle burnout with a wife and 3 kids who don't quite understand? Like, how do you deal with burnout?
I feel like that's dangerous. That's dangerous as a man because you're expected to still be available, regardless of what you're dealing with and everything. I'm sure as a woman too and everything, but I feel like as a man, you're not really supposed to show it
Show weakness.
or let it affect you. Because with me, I know when I'm going through burnout, I just want to sit down and not do anything. I don't want to deal with anything. I don't want to think about anything. I don't want to make any decisions. I just want to relax.
Don't want to talk.
Not do anything that needs any kind of brain power whatsoever. And I feel as though it usually happens a lot, especially with my job, because I'm very introverted and I don't do a lot of talking. And with my job, I have to do a lot of talking. I have to be emotionally available for people. I have to counsel. I have to be the one with the answers sometimes.
So then you have to do it at home, at work, and then you
Yes.
have to come home
And I
and do
have
it
to
at
come
home.
and do it. So there's no turning off. And like sometimes you just want to have a break, but then sometimes you can't have a break.
Yeah.
Especially with 3 kids, you come through the door and then your kids expecting you to be there for them. So you can't be like, leave me alone. Go,
Yeah, I don't want to.
go to your room. I don't want to talk to you, stuff like that, because that's not good.
Yeah.
So for me, when I'm dealing with burnout, especially at work, I try to just take time to myself and be able to just take a break and not think about things for a second and just relax. Well, how have you seen me deal with burnout?
I think the same.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you is it obvious to you when I'm burnt out?
Yes and no. So, like I said in the previous episode, Kemoy's really quiet, right? So you can tell. I can tell when something's off, right? Like you're quiet, it's a little too quiet, right? But there's times where I just don't know, and I think that's where communication comes in, where you have to tell me what's happening. Um, because I'm thinking everything's okay, and here's how my day is. How's everything? And I'm talking away, and it's like you're just like, I can't do this right now in your mind because you don't say anything, so I don't know. But I think sometimes I've seen it where your quiet is just a little too quiet. Like there's just something off there. Um, and then that's when, it's my cue to, is everything okay? Talk to me. What's going on? So I can get an idea of where your head is so I can do what I can to help you. Yeah.
How how does it affect you? Because a lot of times I feel as though you feel as though I'm angry at you.
Yeah, because you
Or
don't, because I think
and I
because
feel like it's vice versa. Like even with you too, like I take it sometimes as you're angry with me until I ask.
yeah, and I
So
think that's why communication, especially in a marriage, is really important because if you're like, okay, I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with burnout right now, but you don't tell me. So I have no idea. So I'm thinking, things are fine. Come on, just extra quiet today. I'm talking, but I'm barely getting a response back from you because you have so much going on in your mind. So I'm like, okay,
yeah,
is something wrong? But I think once you communicate
yeah.
what's happening.
And I think that too is another thing because I'm an internal processor. So
And I think a lot of men are.
I need to think about things and I need to think about what's going on and have time to process. Whereas you're
My
an outward, you
processing
talk about it
yeah,
and
but
you,
it's funny, I think because 'cause we've heard this before, I think that's just how it is. Not it doesn't apply to everybody, of course, but I think women are like that, like, they have to talk, they have to, like, get their emotions out, they have to tell you what's going on, whereas men, they're just kinda like it's like, "Are you listening? Like, you're not saying anything, talk to
yeah.
me." So, I think that's just
And then
how life is.
yeah, and then a lot of times like with that when you're like, "Oh, are you paying attention to me? Why are you responding?" It's like I'm literally like thinking of stuff in my mind.
Mhm.
I'm literally
But I
thinking
don't
about
know that though,
yeah,
you know
I'm
what I
literally
mean?
thinking about, okay, so how are we gonna handle this? Like, what are we gonna do here? And try to put it all together. But then I need time to process and bring
And
it, otherwise it's not gonna come out
right,
properly.
and then my
So
processing is, okay, let's talk about it. All right, so we got A and we need to get to Z. So let's walk through the steps. Let's okay, what if this doesn't, I talk a lot. So this is how this is how I express myself. This is how um get things out. Whereas you're thinking the same thing, but you're doing it internally
yeah,
and not saying it out loud.
yeah. So I think too is just realizing that, like, even if it wasn't anything to do with burnout, it's just realizing that sometimes we need to give each other space.
Yeah,
And
oh yeah, I
sometimes
agree.
we need to just be able to be by ourselves for a second to even
Absolutely.
think and stuff like that.
And
So
not just in burnout situations like you said, but more so, I mean, we're married, we see each other all the time, but sometimes I just want to watch my TV show. Sometimes you just want to play your video games. We don't need to be together all the time. And maybe it's our 18 years of being together or 14 years of marriage. I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe if you've been married for a year and you're like, well, I love him. I want to be with him all the time. We are like, you know what I mean? We've been
even
together a long
yeah,
time.
even though you love being with the person, you need time away.
I agree. I agree.
So
And it's
like
not even just like there's nothing wrong with that.
for
It's like
yourself to know
for
who
your
you are as a person, to know
yeah, like
to be able to handle
have
things
your
on your own
have
and
your own
yeah.
friends. You go out with your friends and do things and oh, I love this thing. I don't really care for it. Okay, I'm just gonna go with my friend and do it. Okay, fine, good for you. And I think that's okay. But even at home too, it's like, okay, we spend time together, kids are in bed and stuff. You want to play video games? I want to go upstairs and read a book. Okay, I love you. I'll see you later. You know what? There's nothing wrong with that. But maybe I don't know, maybe in our first couple years of dating, maybe we were together a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think we were together a lot, but it wasn't. I felt as though we spent less time together when were first married, because I used to go out and play, go out to the
Oh
rec and play
yes,
basketball all the
yes,
time.
yes.
Um,
But then we also we were working opposite schedules
that
too.
too, yeah,
Yeah. And I think that's fine. I don't know. I think marriage has phases and there's nothing wrong with it. If
yeah.
you're in phase 1 where you have to be connected at joined at the hip, well good for
But
you.
but also, there's nothing wrong with that either.
Then no, there's nothing wrong
Like
with that.
if you guys just love each other company and just want to be with each, there's nothing wrong unless somehow that's unhealthy where
You have no
you're
friends.
not being with your family.
Yeah, like everything.
You don't say hi to your family. You don't have any friends. You don't know how to communicate with other people besides your
Mhm,
spouse and
mhm.
things of that sort. So
You have to, before you were married, you had your own identity, and there's nothing wrong with that.
yeah, it takes a while to learn.
Yeah, it
Yep.
does. You want to go out and play sports, go do it. I'm just gonna sit at
And
home.
then you have to learn the balance
Mhm.
because
What's
I can't just be always out playing sports or hanging out with friends and stuff like that because you're gonna feel a certain type of way. And then of course that's gonna affect our marriage and the
yeah,
relationship. And then things are gonna go downhill.
yeah,
So
because I mean,
and
like,
just
what's
learning the balance is what I
yeah,
think the big thing is at
and
first.
I think us being together for so long, I think mm, I mean, marriage is still learning even after 14 years, but um you learn as time goes on, you learn to find that balance of what will work. You can be you still independently. I can be me still independently, and then we can come together. What would you say burnout has looked like for me?
I think something that I've learned throughout the years is when you're burnout or burnt out is to have time to to
Mhm.
yourself and be able to get you away from the kids and
Yeah.
have you have your own space and be able to just let you have time.
It's so interesting because I used to get I realized this. I don't I was watching a video and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's me." It was like a few years ago, a couple years ago maybe. And it was talking about overstimulation. and how easy it is for wives and mothers to be overstimulated, right? Because the kids are touching and they're talking and
Yelling.
they're yelling and you're cooking and there's so many things going on at once. And I used to get irritable. I was like, what is wrong with me? I used to get like my patience was wearing thin. I'm like, what is happening? Like something has to be wrong with me. But then I watched a video and it just explained it so well. And it's like you get to the point where you're
Yeah.
overstimulated that you can't function anymore. Right. And I think there was one time and so now I can express that. I would say, "Come on, I think I'm getting overstimulated. I can't." And he'd be like, "Okay, go upstairs and take a break." Or there was one time I saw this video and it was a wife in the kitchen and she was cooking and there were kids running around and she said to her husband, "I'm I can't. I'm getting overstimulated." And he did something like um so, like the fridge was beeping because the door was left open, and then the vent for the
Fan was
fan
on, yeah.
over the stove
So
was
limit
on.
the noise.
So like she said that to
Yeah.
him, and then like he shut the fridge, he turned off the vent, and then he sent the kids like to their playroom or something. And immediately that just shifted her mood
Yeah.
because it was just too much
Yeah.
for her happening at once.
And do you realize, like, when you're in that state of mind, do you notice all the stuff that's going on around you? Like, do you, like, for instance, all the noise, like the extra stuff, the fan going off, the beeping of the fridge?
No, not really. Not all the intricate
Hmm.
details, I don't think. That video kind of helped me
Hmm.
realize a little bit
Yeah.
too. Um, I just know that I'm at that point and there's something that's making me there.
Yeah.
Typically it's the kids screaming, but there's more to that,
Yeah.
right? It's the vent, the fridge beeping, the neighbor's dog is barking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Generally I know what it is, but
Yeah.
individually I don't. Yeah.
That's interesting. And it's funny. It's funny how kids can test your patience. And usually when we hear our parents and stuff say that, it's a negative connotation,
Yeah.
like you're testing my patience. You need to, but
Yeah.
it's like I always consider myself a patient person.
Yeah.
But then I realized that when we had kids, it's another level of
Mhm.
patience
Absolutely.
because I found myself being really stressed out and annoyed at times
Mhm.
with just stuff that they do,
And it's
and then
like and
you have to tell yourself, "Hey, you need to calm down. You need to realize, hey, do not let this get
yeah,
blown
and the
out of."
thing about it is
So,
like, they're kids, so they're asking a lot of
mhm,
questions. So our kids talk a lot, a lot, all three of them, and they like to talk all at the same time. So one person will start, and then the other one decides that they have to tell a story too. So they just start talking, and then the baby gets in there, and then she starts talking
yeah,
too. So it's like three people talking all at once, and you're trying to pay attention,
yeah,
and it's just a lot.
yeah,
I think I realized that picking them up from school,
mhm,
the 7-minute ride from
yeah,
school to home,
yeah,
it's like, man, how was your day? This person's talking and this
yeah,
person has to jump in and just yeah,
yeah. It's like
it's
a
a lot.
competition all the
It's like a
time.
competition. It's like, oh my
Yeah,
goodness, but I think, I mean, we have to take care of ourselves, right? But then we also have to realize that, and I think as the older our kids get, like we can start to have these conversations. Um, there's this Bluey episode. Our kids love Bluey. It's a really good show. Um, and what?
no, good.
Um, and it was the mom. It was very clear she was overstimulated, and the dad came home because I think he went for a jog or something, and she was like, I need you to handle this. I just need 20 minutes. So then she went upstairs to her room and she's like, I just need 20 minutes. So that's our key for the kids. It's like, hey guys, mom just needs 20 minutes. Now 20 minutes is not really 20 minutes. It's like 20. I mean, on
It depends. It
if
depends.
Kamoy's not home, 20 minutes is more like two.
5 minutes. Yeah.
2 minutes. If Kamoy's home, like 20 minutes is more like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I kind of just get some time to myself. But that's kind of their cue because they've seen the episode and it's like, hey, mom just needs 20 minutes. Nothing's wrong. I just kind of need some time to
Yeah.
myself. But it's funny because our kids are so caring. So we'll say mom needs 20 minutes. Kamoy say, hey, stay down here. Don't bother mom. 10 minutes later, Knock, knock. Mom, are you okay? Yes, I just need 20 minutes. Thank you. The other one comes up. Mom, is everything okay? You know what I mean? And you
Yeah.
can't even get mad at
Yeah.
that because it's so cute. They're just checking in to make sure everything's
Yeah.
okay. But 20 minutes is never
Yeah,
enough,
and a lot
is
of
it?
times you just have to remind yourself they're kids,
Yeah.
they're going through development and everything.
And just
So
talk to
you
them.
just yeah, but I feel like you have to tell yourself and remind well, at first, I feel like as newer parents, we're well, at least for me, I had to constantly remind myself, "Hey, this is a kid. They're
Same.
not it's not an adult.
Same.
Like, they're going through growth and everything. They don't understand everything and stuff like that." So and yeah, so I feel as though just going through it and just taking time to I remember the last episode we were talking about just laughing through the noise and laughing through the
Mhm.
chaos
Yep.
and
Yep.
just laughing at situation because
Mhm.
sometimes what else can you do
What
but
else
just
can
laugh?
you do?
So
And I think um that's part of being a parent, right? Like, you gotta put the needs of your kids first. And I'm not saying, like, kids, 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 and you're burnt out to the point where you can't do it anymore and you're not taking time for yourself, but I think just sometimes you just gotta put them first and kinda take a step back and understand that, yes, you're burnt out, yes, there's this, then I don't know, take a longer shower,
yeah,
like, try to do things for yourself.
yeah,
When the kids go to bed, and I know I feel like this is like a typical mom thing. When everybody goes to bed, that's when they get their time to themselves. Maybe it's that, but, like, do something for yourself just to you're still a person, you're still you. I'm still
yeah,
Kirsty, right? Like, before I was a mom, before I was a wife, I was Kirsty,
yeah.
so
But
yeah.
I feel like you also have to be intentional about getting time to yourself too,
Absolutely.
because there's only so much bandwidth you can give.
And
So
there's so many hours in the day,
mhm,
right? Because let's say your kids go to bed because there's for me, what I tried to do was okay, our bedtime's at 7, kids go to bed, and then I'll have the rest of the time to myself before you get home. That'll be great. But then the little one, she doesn't like to go to she doesn't so then it's like there's times where she's still awake when you get home. So
yeah.
in that time frame, I don't have any time for myself, right?
And all
But
you
that's
hear
okay.
and all you hear is "Blee."
Yeah, yeah, because she's watching Blue on TV. And that's okay, right? Because maybe you didn't get time to yourself today, but you'll get time to yourself tomorrow.
Yeah,
So I just, we talked about in previous episodes, it's like it's okay not to check stuff off the list. For me, I'm a list. Like okay, from this time to this time, I get time for myself. From this time to this time, that's just me. So I have to be intentional of that's okay, throw it out the window, whatever it is. I got a 30-minute shower instead of a whatever, that's still nice too. But
yeah,
also if possible, try to do things that you love.
yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna step outside and I'm gonna go window shop. Watch the kids for me, honey.
yeah.
I'm going out for a little bit. I'm gonna go out with some friends to play basketball. Good for you, just to remember that you're
That hasn't happened in years.
and whose fault is that? I don't know. Where your friends at? I don't know. That's not me. That has nothing to do with me. I don't know. Yeah, but I think, before you were parents, before you were married, you were you. So just kind of take time for yourself. But burnout is real. And, I
Take
mean,
care of yourself, because
yeah.
if you don't take care of yourself, then everyone else is gonna hurt too, so not just you.
Especially if
So
I said we both work high stress jobs. So especially if you're doing the coming from that and coming home and all things, and I don't know, maybe your finances aren't right and you're struggling, or whatever it is, it's a lot. But just take some time for yourself and just clear your head. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. This has been a really fun episode. We hope you enjoy it. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Ask us questions as well.
if we don't get to the question in the next episode, we'll see it and try to get to it at
Yeah.
some point.
Yeah, or maybe we'll just gather all the questions and just have
Have
an
an episode.
episode
Yeah.
of answering questions. So yeah, throw your questions in the chat. We're on YouTube, we're on Spotify. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Faithfully Us.